Welcome back to the studio, guys. It's time for some post-game analysis. But first, what we're going to do is actually introduce you to our casters, because we didn't actually get a time to talk to you guys just yet to get a bit of an introduction. So, Topical, introduce yourself.
Name's Dallas. I started off casting with the guys over at Philadelphia and Nerd Street Gaming. They gave me the opportunity, got my feet wet, started meeting people, got opportunities, and here we are.
Nice, nice and clean.
Yeah, very. Yeah, I mean, it's a blast. I mean, it's an honor to be here completely. It really coming out of that competition, the ECS challenge, and a really well set up challenge you guys did. I mean, it was a lot of fun.
You have the voice. That's for sure. You got the voice.
I'm sorry. 10 years of smoking is really.
Yeah, I need a lot of whiskey. I want to get Tom Waits level, but we'll see. We'll see.
You need a lot of whiskey then.
Yeah, maybe I can get there.
Yeah, it's about the right time, 5 p.m. about the right time to go for a glass or a bottle of whiskey.
We'll work on that in the break. We'll work on that. I can get some for Janko. I know places. So Switchblade J.
Yeah, well, I originally came from a background of studying TV and radio, and I kind of just took those skills, and I kind of thought, I love video games. Why not try and apply that? Like, apply those skills that I've learned through education and apply that to stuff that I love. So I found out about esports. I loved it, and I just gave some shots. I tried out just a couple of random YouTube games, and I eventually found out about it was a very similar situation to Jack, actually. I found out about a student league, and I got into casting through that, and I told him, I'll send you some VODs, and it would take me on. And then from there, it just kind of progressed. I did a lot of grassroots stuff in Europe and the UK, and well, we're here, and the rest is history.
Awesome. So I want to get to know you guys a little bit better. I'm sure the audience do as well, but we do have some post-game to do, so we'll do that gradually throughout the day. So, I mean, my first impressions were, we said on the desk previously, Mousesports need to have a good CT side, and they seem to make themselves, or make their own lives quite difficult with their force buying.
They pulled an envious then.
They definitely pulled an envious.
They pulled an envious. They decided to force buy 2 rounds in a row on the CT side after their money was reset. And listen, the thought process of players in that situation is, okay, we're getting a lot of kills. We are putting pressure on their economy. If we just win this one force buy, we will reset them. Everything's going to be fine. We will have control of the half. But that's not looking at the big picture. What happened here is exactly how that ruins you, because Mousesports loses both rounds. Then they go into a buy round, they win it barely, and they get immediately reset after that because they can't rebuy all of the nades. And VP, because they won 3 consecutive rounds at that point, they have enough money for everything. Pretty much all the nades, an op if they wanted, and they have a lot of confidence. I'm not sure if this is the round, if these are just the highlights.
Just highlights.
This is the highlights. Okay, then we'll show an example later. But all those things combined, it's just very easy for VP to play and very comfortable for them after that early start.
Do you guys see any saving graces from Mousesports there, really?
It's not looking good heading into Cobblestone. They had a chance to try and control this game being their map pick, but I think they were just outclassed every step of the way.
Yeah, it did seem kind of open and shut, didn't it?
Yeah, very, very much so. Like, it just seemed like it just felt like, even from an individual standpoint, VirtusPro were just outmatching Mousesports in every single manner. You know, that there was a point during the matchup where there was pasha held up in a sniper nest, and he took down loWel, and Spiidi didn't even realise he didn't even land the call. So, you know, not only from an individual aspect, but from a team play aspect, it's just VirtusPro better than Mousesports, and I think that's just the hard truth of it.
All right, well, I think Janko, as he alluded to, does have a clip for us that we'll be running in a moment. So, Janko, generally speaking, with VirtusPro, do you feel like VirtusPro is bringing a better form online? Because that's something they've always been lacking, despite obviously the resurgence at LAN events lately.
I think they've been playing better in general, so that obviously translates a little bit to their online form as well. We know that they're a notorious bad online team. It just seems that they're not as motivated to play, which I understand, but in my opinion, you really need to step up in that department as well, because you have so many huge online leagues that are very important, and you need to qualify for the finals, right? So I think it's about time that VP steps up. I think this is a great opportunity for them to actually make the playoffs and, you know, maybe put a stop to all those, all those people saying that they can't really perform online at all.
All right, so before we get talking about Cobblestone, you do have your clip for us, so let's go through that.
Yeah, I'll try to make it brief then. It was a situation where, after Mousesports just won the gun round, so obviously very important so they don't get reset. You saw chrisJ gets a kill, and then we see Spiidi just fully aggressive on Cat, with that smoke, with a man advantage, which in my opinion is something that was unnecessary. And you see the confidence that VP has. They just boost TaZ up into window room. He's straight on, pushes towards kitchen, catches the Mousesports players in the back and secures the round. That resets Mousesports. And you can tell, like, Spiidi throws that smoke on Cat. Listen, like, players like VP are going to expect someone getting on top of that rail and trying to find a kill. That's, I mean, so common these days. And you already have a man advantage. Why go for that by yourself? You saw chrisJ was already rotating from window room. NiKo threw a smoke by himself in connector, so he doesn't want to be super aggressive. He's just waiting for someone to peek while he has that almost a one-way smoke advantage. So that tells you that they really weren't on the same page, and that's a crucial round. Obviously, they lose this round. After that, it turns out to be 8-2 for VP or 9-2 before Mousesports win another round. So you can't really afford to make small mistakes like that against a team like VP. They will just capitalize on it.
All right, so moving into Cobblestone. Again, we don't like to do predictions too much. We like winning conditions. You know, what do they need to do? Mousesports, that is. You know, what will it take for them to actually win? What has to happen for them to win? I'll start with you.
Well, for me personally, I would say start. You know, trying to individually outperform them. You know, that's the first thing. Like, you know, from an individual standpoint, VirtusPro were better, like I said in the last map. But as well as that, you know, team comp and trying to outmatch them from a team level is probably also step number 2 in my opinion. But again, it's just that almost that game sense, you know, of using the information to your advantage, because I didn't see Mousesports really using calls too much, and there were a lot of situations where they could have won where they didn't.
Yeah, same thing. Mousesports did fine when it came to their pistol rounds. Their winning condition would be to repeat that and also win the consecutive rounds behind that. We saw VirtusPro being able to steamroll them in the first half. Pistol round went to Mouse, and then the force buy up with a scout plus pistol armor was enough to overwhelm them. And then they just could not capitalize on that. They needed to get that economic foothold early, and that, I think, is Mousesports' winning condition.
Yeah, where'd you stand, Janko?
I don't know, someone needs to disconnect Dan from VP. They need to play 5v4 or something. Especially on Cobble. I mean, Cobble is VP's, you know, home turf, and Mousesports has notoriously been struggling on the map, especially on the T side, which is the easier side on the map. So it really has to be, you know, a 180-degree turn from Mousesports. They even won both pistols on Mirage. They won both pistols then, and still they weren't even close to winning the game. So it has to be a massive step up in every department you can think of in the game of Counter-Strike.
They weren't even close, says Janko. Let's hope they can get somewhat close, or maybe even take it over the line. We will be finding out very briefly after the break.
This time now, my brother. Come, follow me. Move it.